Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Young here and welcome to my top 10 reasons to be excited for Metal Gear Solid 5. If you've listened to Sins of the Father, then I don't think this needs much explanation. The Metal Gear franchise has always provided awesome tracks and background music with each iteration, so it's hard not to be excited for Metal Gear Solid 5's new compositions. Further enhancing the game's track is the game's ability to import music into Snake's cassette player, which is a first for the franchise and an exciting feature that should ensure that there's never a dull moment for gamers' ears. Metal Gear Solid 5 is arguably the best looking next generation game and the closest thing to photorealism in gaming so far, and we have the Fox engine to thank for that. With its ability to create realistic facial and body animations through motion capture and to produce realistic objects and textures through 3D photo capture, the Fox engine is a glimpse of game development's future. Furthermore, the engine was designed to streamline game design, allowing developers to focus less on the technical aspects of development and more on the creative aspects. Knowing that Metal Gear Solid 5 is in the hands of such a capable engine makes waiting for the game all the more painful. Kojima's decision to release the prologue and the main game separately has been a recent topic of debate, with some arguing that the prologue seems to be too short to justify its price, but if there's one thing that Kojima has guaranteed time after time is that the Phantom Pain will be absolutely massive in scale. Last time he checked, its combined map sizes were, without exaggeration, around 300 times larger than Ground Zeroes' Camp Omega. Furthermore, the Phantom Pain will unleash many of Ground Zeroes' suppressed features by offering multiple vast open worlds, true day and night cycle, a vastly expanded base management system, and much more. Metal Gear Online hasn't even been discussed yet, and already the Phantom Pain has the potential to have the longest lasting appeal in franchise history. Back in February 2013, Kojima expressed concern over potential controversy that his next project could cause. Gamers would learn that his words were no exaggeration with the release of Metal Gear Solid 5's Red Band trailer, which displayed some of the most graphic scenes in recent memory. To top it off, recent information revealed that Ground Zeroes would feature an audio tape depicting rape. While these dark and mature elements could be off-putting for some, it is unquestionably one of many reasons to look forward to Metal Gear Solid 5. The franchise is at its core about the grim lives of soldiers, and to know that Kojima isn't holding back any punches to tell his story reaffirms that Metal Gear Solid 5 will be an emotional roller coaster. Past games have always been perceived as mature caricatures, but this time Kojima's aiming to establish a realistic style of maturity, and I have a feeling it's gonna pay off big time. To maintain a sense of realism and immersion for Metal Gear Solid 5, one of Kojima's key goals was to create an unintrusive interface. Health bars have been replaced with regenerating health, the Soliton radar has been replaced with a new marking system, the iconic sidebars have been replaced by a new weapon and item wheel, and most of the game's menus have been confined to the iDroid. Furthermore, unlike in past games, these menus occur live without pause to ensure that immersion is not broken. It'll certainly be jarring at first for Metal Gear fans, but it's hard to deny that the new and clean interface breathes new and exciting life into the evolving franchise. Carrying over from Peace Walker, the ability to manage an entire army and a base of operations will make a return. Ground Zeroes will feature a dumbed-down tutorial version of this feature, granting players a limited amount of base management and soldier recruitment, while the Phantom Pain will grant players access to the full version of the feature, which allows players to recruit soldiers in bulks using the Fulton recovery system, develop new weapons and items, purchase customizable choppers, and more. While it's still unknown how the feature will be expanded upon from Peace Walker, there's no denying that the prospect of leading Diamond Dogs to battle against Cypher with an expanded console version of Peace Walker's base management system is a thrilling one. Snake is back better than ever with new abilities like the tagging system, reflex mode, an improved and enhanced CQC system, and more. While some of these features remain controversial, Kojima assured that they are vital to the new open world experience that Metal Gear Solid 5 offers, and I believe him. But for those still worried, some of the new features can be turned off. Snake's movements have also been enhanced with new and fluid animations, new maneuvers like the ability to jump and dive, and the ability and flexibility to climb obstacles, all to ease traversing and sneaking around the game's new open world structure. These may seem like minor things, but after having played some of the old Metal Gear Solid games recently, there was no denying that Snake's stiff movements and controls had not aged gracefully throughout the years. Metal Gear Solid 5 seems to change all that, however, with Snake's movements and control looking tighter, smoother, and more modern than ever before. Combine this with Snake's new abilities, and there's a recipe for potentially the most badass Snake yet. David Hayter's voice is arguably the most iconic in the gaming landscape, so it came as no surprise when fans threw a tantrum after it was revealed that Kojima would cast Kiefer Sutherland for the role of Snake. But as time passed, out of the ashes, a feeling of excitement arose, with fans clamoring to see what iconic actor Kiefer Sutherland has to offer as iconic character Big Boss. Slowly but surely, what little there is of Kiefer Sutherland's performance slowly began to grow on fans of the franchise. I mean, sure, it'll be weird hearing Jack Bauer's voice coming out of Snake's mouth, but there's no denying that Kiefer Sutherland is an accomplished actor who has the potential to bring a whole new side to Snake, who undergoes major changes throughout Metal Gear Solid 5, and with how little we have heard of Kiefer's voice throughout the demos and trailers, I'm eagerly anticipating to hear his full performance.
Kept you waiting, huh?
If one were asked what makes Metal Gear Solid 5 different from past games, the first thing to pop in mind would likely be the game's open world. Players are no longer confined to small, linear, separate areas, allowing them to choose their own paths and methods of infiltration to accomplish their mission. The worlds themselves will be huge, allowing players to navigate them using horses and vehicles or whatever means they see fit. Adding more complexity to the open world are the day and night cycle and the dynamic weather system, both which affect visibility conditions and AI pattern. But perhaps the open world's biggest influence is that it allows for much more random placement and movement of enemy patrols, creating a more immersive and realistic stealth experience with unpredictable conditions, offering unparalleled stealth freedom, dynamic weather conditions, along with random unforeseen variables. Metal Gear Solid 5's open world seems to be a dream come true for Metal Gear fans and fans of the stealth genre. If there's one thing that will guarantee that I buy Metal Gear Solid 5, both Ground Zeroes and The Phantom Pain, it's the story. There is simply no story out there that is quite like Metal Gear's. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying story is more important than gameplay or anything ludicrous like that, but I already know what to expect on the gameplay front, even with the cool new twists added to the familiar formula. On the story front, however, there are a whole lot of unknowns and blanks that only Metal Gear Solid 5 can fill. Taking place shortly after the events of Peace Walker, and then 9 years after Ground Zeroes, Metal Gear Solid 5 will tell the story of Big Boss's downfall and the eventual establishment of Outer Heaven, bridging the gap between Naked Snake Saga and Solid Snakes. There's also the introduction of new and compelling characters, such as Quiet, Skullface, and Code Talker, the return of old characters like Psycho Mantis and Liquid Snake, and finally the evolution of familiar characters like Big Boss, Kaz Miller, Huey Emmerich, Chico, Paz, and Ocelot. With a balanced and compelling cast of characters and a pivotal setting, I have a feeling that Metal Gear Solid 5's story will be something very special. I just had to mention Metal Gear Online one way or another. The reason it didn't make the list is because there's just too little that's known about it to justify a place in the top 10. I know I'm excited, but it's hard to pinpoint why exactly until I see more. But the prospect of an online Metal Gear experience, enhanced by the new Fox engine and Metal Gear Solid 5's mechanics, is undeniably thrilling. So there you have it, folks, my top 10 reasons to be excited for Metal Gear Solid 5. Be sure to let our nation know in the comments below your top reasons to be excited. And to be further updated on Metal Gear Solid 5, be sure to join the nation and subscribe to Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much, and Young out!